Alright, we're putting the recording software on. Now, this is what I like to call the punk rocker move, so I'm going to reload a full magazine. We've gone from... I showed you... What are these ace settings? What the fuck are these fucking ace settings? What? We went from insta-kill to fine to invincible. What? Oh my god, is it the uniform? Is his uniform just... Why? Just... Are you invincible? It's the uniform. It has to be the uniform. Just... But out of everything to break, why the French resistance uniform? Yeah, it's the uniform. What? I hate this game. You know what? I'm getting rid of the tier 3 squad. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. How does that... How did we go from literally dying in one hit and ignoring the ace medical settings to becoming invincible on the ace medical settings in the same settings? How... Without even changing the set... I hate this game. Okay, hold up. No, okay. I'm gonna make an announcement in Tier 3 and just say, hey guys, I'm removing the T3 squad from Mondays. You are more than welcome to form up in a squad, but the T3 squad, whatever reason, doesn't want to work. They were getting insta-killed last op, so I copied their kits to different models, and now they're unkillable. And this headache is not worth my sanity. Especially, and I'm using caps now, especially since the unit models come from the same subgroup as the rest of the players. FFI. So, sorry, ... but this is just making me head desk. Alright, let me fix my punctuation, take out the semicolon, put an exclamation, whatever the hell it's called, because I'm... Alright, let's put the music back on. But yeah, I don't freaking know why it does that. I will never know why it does that. But I cannot be bothered to care. You know, like... How? How did we go from insta-kill to invincible and we didn't even touch the settings? Welcome to Arma being Arma. Liru.exe, stop working. But Talon, thank you for the raid of 4. I hope you were playing an awesome match, my man, and I hope you get a little kick out of the stream. But I'm just going to put an extra squad down. I'm going to call it Foxtrot, and I'm not going to give a crap. Because that's... I don't know. I don't know. Let me find the, But the French military uniforms are bugged too. I'm probably not going to be able to make a French commando op if they're all... if they're deciding to, like, either go from insta-dying to regular settings, like, I don't know. I don't know. Now, I know one of these boxes had their, had the equipment for the commandos, so I'm trying to find it to delete it, because it had extra ammo for them, but if we're taking those out completely, then there's no point in having it. So it might have been this box. Did I not give them a box with more? I might not have. Am I going crazy?
So let's give him a warm welcome.
I guess I'm going crazy, because I have no idea where it went. It was one of these big boxes. Oh yeah, have it floating so it doesn't fall into the dirt and explode. Let's replace the Zeus slot so it stays underneath that, but I mean, this is still an 8, 16, 32, 40, 48, 49, 50, 51. Yeah, still a big slot mission, so I don't think there's even a need for a Foxtrot, but whatever, we'll make it work. You know, I'm not even gonna lie, after witnessing that, I don't even want to keep building right now. Like, Jesus Christ, what was that? Like, what actually was that bullshit? Like, I've seen some crazy stuff in this game, don't get me wrong, but uniforms that literally break ace uniforms on one class type for a unit, and then completely make you invincible on a different class type, it's like, what the hell? Oh, they're in the faces of War Mod? Alright, well, maybe. We'll see. I don't know. I need a drink here, like, fuck. I guess Stellenium was found early. I don't know. I don't know. And I don't know. Here, could I actually, like, set this up so it's like that? And then I could put, like, a sandbag in here to... Oh, yes, yes, yes. That actually sounds dope. So, like, put that in there. And then we have a low MG42. Actually, we'll do a 34 in here. So if I just type the word low, it should come up easily. That might be too low. Actually, medium. Let's do medium. Or deployed low. Low with sandbag, that's part of the texture, I remember it. What do you mean medium doesn't exist? What? I'm facepalming. I know medium exists. Is it called middle? Of course it's called middle. I hate this game. It's a 42, but it'll be fine. The TSB, they're not going to take all the statics and use them like I like to do in my ops. At least when I play this game. I know them too well. We want that facing exactly. Yes, he's partially in the ground, but they're not going to see that, so it doesn't matter. Besides, I'm going to raise it like that, and it's good for the most part. Now, for a checkpoint, I need gate thingamajigs. Where's the lawn white and black one? Giggity. Also, did I put a flag in the previous spot? I don't think I did. It would not be complete without that flag. Cool. And I can get rid of that because I'm working on this position now. But where is that lawn white and black one? It's probably hidden in one of the bushes or something. Because I've been using that one a lot, but I don't want to keep using that one. Where's the... I'm going to go rip it from one of my other outposts. Screw it. Okay. I used a green one in there. Here we are. If you're gonna send links and you're not a moderator, just DM them to people, because they're not gonna work, because, despite me telling people not to touch the links from the bots that would send people to shoddy websites, people kept doing it. So, because of people's stupidity, I had to, you know, make sure that people coming on this stream stayed safe. So, I had to get rid of link sharing. I'm sorry, but I can't afford it because the bots are... yeah. The bots do bot things, and there's not much you can do. The bots work for the bourgeoisie. That should be good enough. Now, what if I did a double sandbag defense like that, and I took more mediums? I think we're getting somewhere. Because checkpoints, they don't have to be that big. I can just put them down. Presto. I mean, it doesn't have much coverage because of that house, but that's fine. And what I can do is I can put another one here. I can flip it 180 degrees, maneuver it a little more here. And then I can get rid of this section and make it into a bit of a control area for the guardhouses. But what texture do I use for that? That lines up with that perfectly, but let's put her at 0. Give her a bit of sandbag cover. I put you on loop, right? Yes, I did. Okay. And then I can also put a bit of like a vehicle storage tent in here by getting rid of those fences. Because when I'm done building with whatever I feel like I'm done finished building with blah blah blah, I'll then do my balancing for what do I want to spawn there and stuff. And we'll go from there. So, you know, this could be a king tiger, this could be a 222, it depends on really my mood. But I mean, what else is Zeusing but dealing with someone's mood? If I'm merciful, I'm merciful. If I want to murder you, I'll probably find a way. I try not to Zeus like that, but sometimes some people get on my nerves. Let's do 2 flags. What year is this? It's 2020, Tootie. I recommend you look into a calendar app. I never focus on a specific year. I never tell people the year, because then I'll throw something in and they're like, oh, you said it was a 1940 op, but here's this one tank that didn't show up in 1942. And I'm like, shut up. So I don't tell the year. Actually, I think it was because Tootie would say stuff like that. So, it's 2020, Tootie. If you say a year, I will ream you, so that's why I'm not saying a fucking year. Oh, we just got demonetized off of YouTube. So sad. Alexa, play Despacito. I could hardly give a damn anymore. With how crazy the stock market's been going in the roller coaster, I could care less. And I'm seeing all these people like ramming, or not ramming. That's not the word I want to use. I don't know like, there is a proper word for it, but they're basically berating these people going, oh, look, this person got a briefing about COVID-19 back in January and sold off all their stock. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, they sold millions of dollars worth of stock, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, I sold about 75K worth of stock after I saw what it was. Because every time there's been, in SARS, in Ebola, in all this other stuff, you had the market lose a bit of money. So they were smart to sell their stock. I mean, sure, they got breezed, but me, as someone who just, reads the news and, pays attention to current world events, it was kind of obvious that, something would happen to kill the stock market a bit. So, like, they're getting berated and everyone's yelling insider trading. It's like, not really, because historically, I'm ranting at this point. I apologize, but I'm going to keep going. Historically, every time there's been some new crazy disease that comes out of China or whatever, it's always China too, which is kind of funny. The stock market tanks a little bit, or a lot. So, I get insider trading and why it's bad, and there's also plenty of legal ways that are bad when people can, call stuff up to sell off their stock or whatnot, but this one isn't worth the merit, in my opinion. All this bitching, all this fear-mongering, all this hype of the coronavirus. It's not worth it. Yeah, there's a new flu or virus every 4 to 8 years, and that's literally because in China, people eat exotic animals all the time, especially bats. In fact, recently, after the whole COVID-19 thing, they have actually banned the eating of exotic animals in China now, so people can't eat bats anymore. Bats are what caused a lot of these types of diseases in the past 20 years, so there's a silver lining in there. Another silver lining is we're seeing just how screwed up the US systems are for this type of stuff, so another good silver lining, but we're gonna be cooped up for a while. And people are saying, oh, it'll be over by June or July. It's not. Hell no. This is not going to be gone at least until next year. And if that's if all resources are going to the vaccine, which they're not, because people are dumb at the top. And a vaccine usually to develop and circulate takes around 18 months. So you're going to be dealing with this for a year and a half. And it is going to cause a recession. And all I have to say to you guys is good fucking luck. It's not going to take up to 2 to 3 years. No. Vaccines are quicker than that. Especially if the whole world is focusing on it, which the whole world is, because this is a global pandemic. So honestly, it's probably going to be a bit less. It's probably going to be about a year, I would say, on average, but it's going to be a while. And here's the thing, though. Vaccines themselves aren't actually that hard to make. All you're doing in a vaccine is just making a weakened version of the virus and then giving it a chemical cocktail to, keep it stimulated. That's not the right word for it, but basically, it's part of the vaccine. The real issue is mass production and distribution. That's what takes the most time. For example, statistically, we have enough food to feed a population on this planet of about 15 billion, which is a little under, I think, right now. It's about double of what our current population is. But the one issue we have is logistics and distribution. We do not have the means, logistically, to feed everyone on the planet. Same for vaccines. Easy to make, not easy to mass produce, not easy to distribute. So, yeah. And here's the thing. you want to be socially distant because there's actually 2 strains of COVID-19 out there because one mutated off of the other when it went crazy in China earlier on. And one strain is a lot more aggressive than the other, which is what's, you know, spiking that death rate, especially in elderly people. But the more it infects people, the more likely it's going to mutate. So if you guys actually want a zombie apocalypse, go spread the disease out to everybody and hope you get lucky with the mutation. I'm actually not kidding when I say that, but at the same time, don't. Don't is a good idea. Yeah. Hey, see, here's where it was. It was floating in a frickin' tree. Of course I couldn't find it if it's floating in a damn tree. But, yeah. But ending quarantine probably in 12 weeks if we can flatten the curve quickly. IFA, you're right, but the issue is that even if we stop the quarantine, we're still going to have to keep borders shut. Airlines are going to have to keep shut down, be kept shut down, excuse me, because there's places, for example, Wuhan in China has already declared they are stopping tests because there's just so many people infected, they're not even bothering. And that's going to happen in a few other places. And that's really bad. Because if a lot of places, not even a lot, if epicenters declare that they're going to stop testing, then that's just going to increase the quarantine period on our end, because if we allow those types of people to move freely, you're just going to see pockets of outbreak come up again, and you're going to see a similar response of what you've seen in Italy and the US, of measures were taken too late and this thing exploded everywhere, and it's still exploding, and it's really easy for remittance to occur. So the only way to really ride this one out is A, testing is still constantly done, and B, suppression attempts are going to have to pretty much stay solid till a vaccine is made, simply because this thing is super duper viral. And the really scary part, I don't mean to fearmonger, but the reality is if this thing mutates more, which it very well could, and another strain is made that's even more deadly, we're gonna get fucked. Because here's the thing about the vaccine, guys. When you have a flu shot, it's actually focused on, you know, different strains of the flu. That's why you can get a shot for the flu, but still get sick with the flu, because it's a different strain. So every time there's a new strain that goes out there, you will need a new shot. So if we let this thing mutate a few times, it's gonna get messy. It's gonna be very, very messy. So what I'm saying, guys, is at the end of the day, what you should do is you should lock yourself in your house, work from home, order that Chinese food, disinfect the bag and, you know, serve it on a plate, disinfect that, wash your hands, sit down, tune in to LCPL Liru, and watch the player base get murdered. I'm in a good mood today. There we go. Oh, man. I had to throw that in. I'm sorry. I'm horrible. I'm freaking horrible, but what I said still stands, but I wanted to throw in a little joke, because I don't like talking about that stuff. I don't like getting morbid. At the end of the day, I'm still some frickin' young guy that spends all of his time making scenarios and having fun with it, making sure his player base has a good time, but yeah, self-plug. You gotta throw that self-plug in. But, you know, I'm lucky because my job is this, you know? I still, like, my lifestyle has been completely unaffected. Because all I do is sit and make ops. And that's what I'm gonna keep doing during the quarantine, is just sit down and make more ops, you know? That's how it's gonna keep going, but you guys are the reason I'm able to keep doing that stuff, so for that I thank you. That's actually I called my mother and she told me, "Hey, have you like been seeing a boost in your like viewership and stuff because of all this?" And I'm like, "No." That'd be nice if it worked that way, and I'm pretty sure for some people that are popular enough it is working that way, but I'm too niche for that. Like I'll put up a Halo video or a Fallout video or something that, you know, belongs to a certain category, and I'll have people in the comment section on YouTube saying, "What's this game? This looks really cool, blah blah blah." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, no, it's just me putting up, you know, silly pictures and shit." It's called Arma. $20, you're gonna look at it, go, "Oh my god, this is so cool," and then you're gonna see the buttons and go, "Oh, never mind, back to my Call of Duty." I've actually had that happen before on many occasions, and it's hilarious every single damn time. You're one of those, aren't you? Anyway, someone asked what we were doing because War Games Inc. apparently stopped streaming. We're just building stuff. I'm only half done, but I don't think I'm going to build down to here. I'll probably put a bordered line. But there's also a custom thing I want to do with that. And then I could also start building stuff tomorrow, too. But I want to leave that for balancing tomorrow. Has it hurt the day trading branch of TSB yet? No, Cross, the opposite. Dude, day trading has been amazing the past few weeks. You just don't, when everything drops, you don't buy. And then at the end of the day, you buy. And then you make 20 to 50% the next day. And then sell. And then wait your 2 days, rinse and repeat. Fucking made a killing last week because the market is scared and being very unpredictable. And if you just, you know, take a deep breath and analyze stuff, you can make a solid amount of money. The issue for me personally is that I have a tradition where there's this really fancy restaurant in my town called Eddie V's. I love it, absolutely love it. It's like what you'd want the prime of the 1920s to be. Bloodway and I love it because we're both fans of the 1920s. And every time I make a certain amount of money off the market in a week, I treat myself to that place. It's closed because of the pandemic, so I owe myself a visit when the pandemic gets waved away. So I'm going to be making tally marks of how many times I'm going to go to Eddie V's. So I'll send pictures on Twitter or something. But how much? 10K in a week. Because what my... I'll even... You know, I'll turn my music off because, you know, I want to focus on talking with you guys. Because this also ties into the future plan. I want to get my brokerage account to a certain position. That way, I've got some milestones in place. I'm actually really close to the first milestone. I'll probably be there in about 2 months, but the first milestone means if I were to put my assets in long term and sell stuff off as I was getting things in the short term, I drink to that at, man, who's down for shots? Man, I wish I had something to do shots with Cat, but I gotta stay lucid because I build stupid crazy stuff when I'm drunk, but, I'm going to keep eyeballing that, but I've got these milestones in place for my brokerage account so that I can, you know, either do long-term stuff with it, which, by the way, after this whole pandemic thing's over with, long-term stuff is going to be really, really hot. So if you want to, if you're more of a long-term guy, I'd wait till this pandemic, you know, starts riding back up, and that's going to be when you see vaccines start getting talked about and produced, then you're going to see the stock market bounce back. But the issue is, the risk with that is the remittance of if the virus comes back because they lift quarantine. I almost said sanctions, damn it. Quarantine restrictions, and then there's another outbreak because you're not supposed to do that. You got to wait till the vaccine is actually distributed and people take it. So the market's it's still going to go up and down. So be careful. Don't go long term too early because I'd hate to see you guys lose money. For now, I just play it short term. But anyway, digression aside, I got these milestones in place. The first one, which I guess I could say I've already technically hit, but it's been very wild because the number's so low. Or it's not so low, it's just been low, lower than the first milestone, but that's basically take away all the financial dependence from Twitch, YouTube, and Patreon, and just convert it into stock market stuff. Which, again, it's risky, but believe me when I say it is less risky to depend on the stock market, even with current events, than it is relying on YouTube, Twitch, and, well, Patreon's not as bad. Patreon actually gives a shit about you, but YouTube and Twitch, not so much. And I can cite you multiple occasions on both platforms. So that's the first milestone. And the second milestone is so that I can put some money aside every month and build buy a bunch of parts for computers, build them, and then send them to people like you watching. Give back a little bit, especially the people that helped me start out. So, I want to build some really cool systems, just have some fun doing it, because that's what this channel has basically been, is just have a bunch of fun doing what you love. And, I want to diversify. Next September, Bloodwing and I, we're going to move into a place together. We've already been looking. So, we'll be, I'll have my kitchen. I can set up a camera, and I can show you guys, the 2 years of culinary experience I have. And we can make whatever the heck you guys want to see made. I don't care, because I just like to cook. And, I've got all these plans for the channel. And I will admit, the pandemic's made it hard, because I, this morning, just decided to outright drop one of my classes I'm taking right now, because the professor is, well, it's a hard class, and the professor does not do online stuff, because I tried asking him things via email, and he was shit at explaining it. So then him trying to walk us through everything in virtual lectures and the emails he sent on how we're going to take the online classes, it's not. No. I would rather just take the class again when this pandemic's over with. Ugh. And then that headache's been on me for a while, so I've been having to deal with that. And then, that's been the only real issue, though, thankfully. So just gotta ride this through, hedge my bets properly, and, maybe I can come out of this more than, I would have potentially lost. And that's just, I hope that's the same way for everyone, but I know there's a lot of people working tirelessly to make sure things are going the way that they are going. And if I can, with this channel, provide some relief for some people for their stressful days and nights, medical staff, people that are working in supermarkets, keeping shelf stocks, dealing with Karen trying to buy all the freaking toilet paper, if I can make their lives a little better, give them a smile, more power to me. Because I am perfectly okay with that type of job. Because it is a job I especially enjoy doing. So I have duplicates in these fences, so I'm just quickly taking them out because I made an oopsie. It's fine, we all make mistakes as long as we learn from them. I can assure you I never learn from mine. I have to make the mistake 4 or 5 times before I go, oh, okay, I probably shouldn't do that. But yeah, they might not be cooking streams because I don't want to show you guys my beloved face. My face is mine. It belongs to me. I never want to accidentally show it. I have accepted, though, that if it ever leaks on the internet, I will commit seppuku. Which is my joke of I'll just do a Sudoku puzzle live on the stream and just go, well, here I am. Here's me. Here's my social security number. Feel free to impersonate me. It's a joke. It's a joke, guys. Calm down. Oh, AFA, that sounds dope. I know my father's in government contracting, so he's been deemed essential. And he's really excited because he works in 2 companies. He runs his own, and he runs a small business, and then he's part of a much bigger business. But he's excited because one of the small business loans that the government is letting people apply for, it's stating that it's like a payroll loan or something, but they're stating, hey, if you use this loan for payroll and only payroll, you don't have to pay the loan back. So he was excited to tell all of his employees in the business, hey, guys, take it easy. Here's some work we can still do from home, sure, but, you know, payroll will be fine, even if you, you know, need to take medical leave and stuff, because my father actually gives a damn about his employees, unlike a lot of other people in this world, which is sickening, but welcome to unrestricted capitalism, baby. So that was good to hear. Bloodwing's job is also essential, so she's working from home. She also she's working for one of the big government contracting companies. And then my job as a YouTuber slash Twitch streamer, I would call that essential because, you know, if I wasn't here, you guys would have to go watch people like Forensic. Ugh. I'd rather die than see that happen. That would be the fucking day. So naturally, I can't go anywhere, guys. I gotta obviously keep working. I don't know. I've always said I'm on the fence about Forensic, but the more stuff he does over time, the more I kind of grow to resent him. And it's at this point where I'm just kind of bashing my head against the wall. But that's okay. As a person that watches stuff, you guys are entitled to go do whatever you want. And trust me, I will keep you out of the politics. Unless you want to hear them, of course. Stonks going up. I'm crying from laughter. You Ron for that? What am I Ron for, Nickel? What am I Ron for, Nicholas? Hit me up. Hit me up. Because here's the deal, guys. I don't hate anyone. I don't like certain people for certain reasons, and I am perfectly fine with telling you those reasons. But there's some people out there that just get under my skin with some of the stuff they do. They make the stuff that I do in TSB look like child's play. And that's scary, because I've done some pretty messed up stuff in TSB. Like, there's people out there that hate my guts, and I literally look at them and I say, yeah, no, that is fucked up. I did fuck up there. You have every right to hate my guts. And then there's stuff I see some other people do, and I go, Jesus Christ, I thought I was bad. 2019, esports aren't real sports. 2020, esports are the only sports. Stonks. Man, no. We have an inside meme joke in my editor group where we have the Stonks meme, but it's Opchan's face on it, and it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Ems likes to edit random pictures. For example, he has a General Grievous, yes, the Negotiator meme, but it's like its eyes are animated to be Opchan, so it looks like an anime General Grievous, and it honestly is nightmare fuel. But hey, you know, it works. Oh, Nicole, I remember my 3 days. Trust me. I loved my 3 days. The 501st is a great unit until you start dealing with upper management. And if you really want me to talk about it, I will, but it hurts. It really hurts, because sorry, whistling the mic. Sorry if I hurt your ears, but I don't want to talk about it. I really don't want to talk about it, because it's depressing. I'm not whistling. No, we're not doing that. Well, the guy, you can just say Forensic's name, I don't care. He does run a Halo unit, and it is a big, I don't even know if it's a big Halo. I know it's a decently sized Halo unit, I will say, though, it is... Ooh, do I want to start bashing people? It's a big Halo unit, we can say that. God, now I'm gonna go into the slippery slope, and I'm not sure if I want to start, you know, pissing people off. No bash? Yeah, I don't want to bash. I only bash if people really screw up. Oh, God. Nah, I gotta watch what I say now, because I almost just opened up on something that I don't want to talk about either. Oh, my God. No, I love it when people bash TSB, because I'll literally ask them, why do you hate TSB? And they're like, oh, it's because I hate you, or oh, because I hate this. And I'm like, okay, why do you hate me, or why do you hate this? And half the people don't even give me a reason at that point. I think some people just hate me or TSB because of what other people have said in the past, which I don't give a shit. Like, actually, no, I kind of do give a shit, because I ask people to be rational, and it's like, hey, if you're gonna hate me or hate TSB or hate anything, can you at least have a better reason than, oh, it's because my friend said you guys suck? And it's like, okay. Well, what's your opinion? I just hate those types of people that, like, they'll say something sucks because of what their friends said. They won't go and, like, experience something for themselves without, you know, trying it themselves. You know what I mean? Like, if they don't like something, have your own experience. Don't just, you know, don't say, oh, this sucks because I watched Jim Sterling. Jim Sterling said this. Jim Sterling said that. Or Angry Joe said this. Or CinemaSins did this. And I like Jim Sterling. I like Angry Joe. I like CinemaSins. But it's bred this, like, all of those types of, like, you know, reviewers and stuff and whatnot. It's bred this culture where I think it actually already existed before then. But people don't go out and experience things from themselves. I'm tempted to say anymore, but again, I think it's existed long before, you know, all of this stuff came along for reviews and whatnot. And I wish people experience things for themselves. That's why I go out. I went out and played in the 501st, the 212th, 89th, 506th. Like a lot of places. I went out and experienced it for myself. And I always ask them, don't give me any special treatment. I'll literally come in with a different alias if I have to. But, you know, I want to experience the unit for what it is. And, you know, I have my own opinions of places like the 212th, the 501st, the 506th, the 89th. Trying to think of some other places I've been, the 74th, other places, you know, and I'll tell you, you know, from the bottom of my heart, hey, this place is good because this. Hey, this place is bad because this. And all those units I just mentioned, they have their pros and they have their cons. I still recommend people to go to the 501st, for example. I just tell them my golden rule. Do not ever don't even talk to people who are military police in that unit, and don't ever interact with upper management. It's not worth the headache. You know, 501st, great ops, depending on your Zeus. But, you know, with most units, it is like that. I'd say that for TSB. Great ops, depending on your Zeus and depending on what your tastes are. Same for there. And I've heard they've actually done some changes to their Zeus program to make it more enjoyable, which I like. I like to hear that type of stuff. I like to hear people reacting to feedback. But there's also certain aspects in any community, I would say. Just don't do this or don't do that. Am I still good with Coward? I haven't talked to Coward in a very long time. I've heard from some people he's gone a bit downhill in terms of his behavior and demeanor. Again, that's what people tell me. I'm still gonna, if I see him in a room, I'm gonna say, hey, how have you been? Because he was still my squad leader once upon a time, not once in a blue moon. And I will still treat him with that respect as an old friend. And, you know, if he does something to change it, so be it. But again, I will go see it to myself before I start telling people, yeah, he's a whatever, you know? Because again, I hate those types of people that just hate you because, oh, my friend said you suck. And it's like, well, okay, what do you think? Fuck. I don't know. Every community does things differently. And as someone that has worked in... Yeah, no, I can't say that. Worked in many different communities across Arma 3, I can tell you what works and what doesn't. What I have seen work, what has surprised me that has worked, what I was surprised that I thought would work but didn't work, and everything in between. Because I'm real? I wouldn't say real. I would say, well, actually, no, you're right, because there are a lot of people out there that put on fake personas. And I'll be honest with you, how I treat Liru, I do kind of treat her as a mask for myself, and I say her because Liru is a chick, but, you know, I still try to be real behind it, but it's still my mask because I am a much more grim person IRL. Definitely more of a pessimist. Sorry I keep looking back and forth. I'm trying to figure out, like, what other detail to put in, and it's slowly coming to me as I, you know, put my thought in the background and my speech in the foreground. But, you know, I try to keep it honest. I think everyone should. Because if you start being deceitful to people that watch your content, then what the fuck are you doing? As well as, you know, I like truthful people, and I hate getting stabbed in the back. That's happened to me in TSB, that's happened to me in multiple places on the internet, that's happened to me IRL, and I hated it every single time. So I'll be honest with you. I just ask that you be honest with me. And some people will be, and some people won't. That's perfectly fine. That's just how the fucking world works. No, we're not doing suicide half-tracks. I'm trying to make this a bit more realistic. Fun fact, guys, I actually don't do a lot of meme stuff. It's the player base of any community that starts doing the meme stuff, and I just kind of go with it, and then highlight it, and then everyone thinks, oh, that's what I do, and it's like, nah, whatever. I've stopped trying to argue it at this point. That's just how it rolls. Yep. Yeah, I know, I love ops, where I'm like, alright guys, here's your infantry, here are your support assets. Unless I state specifically otherwise, the mission will always be infantry-based. And once in a while I do have armor ops, I do have certain, you know, air-only ops, armor-only ops, and those are fun, but I don't like doing them excessively. But yeah, when you do a standard infantry op and everyone and their mother decides, hey, I'm going to do air crew, vehicle crew, artillery, and then I only have like 4 infantry while 20 people are playing assets, I just go, guys, stop it. That's also why you haven't seen a lot of ops from me recently where I have things like Vic crews, air assets, artillery, all the support assets. Because I just find that people just flock to them. So if I want to do an infantry-based op, I'll just have infantry and that's it. Maybe 1 or 2 support assets maximum. Because I will go do a different op. I mean, a few weeks ago, actually about a month and a half ago, we had a little bird only op where it was only little birds and like people on the sides of little birds. I've got a IFA armor only op coming up. It's in the setup phases. I haven't built the Eden editor template for it yet, but you know, we're still working on it. It'll be Mimi for the fan mail. Cap, I do have the fan mail right here. I'm actually going to unbox it tomorrow because there's been a few people that have asked for it. And because of all the IRL shit that's been going on, I've had to constantly put it on the back burner. But it will be done tomorrow. That is a promise. What do you do, attack dogs? Also, what was I just talking about? I completely lost my train of thought. I know there's a mod for it, but I remember testing attack dogs and it wasn't working properly, so I'll probably revisit the mod if people tell me it's working again, but, you know, if it's not working properly, then, you know, probably won't touch it. Yeah, recently I did have a surge in co-Zeus's because TSB was trying to train a new batch of Zeus's, so I was, you know, putting them in some of my ops and kind of showing them, hey, this is what you do, this is how I Zeus, you're going to run into other people that have different Zeus styles, blah, blah, blah. But you're not going to see any co-Zeus's again, because personally, I don't like co-Zeusing. Co-Zeusing, in theory, I like. Don't get me wrong. But, and in some ops, actually, it can work really, really well. But I'm not really good at articulating my thoughts that a co-Zeus can generally understand. And I don't think I've ever had a co-Zeus that has worked well with me in that fashion. So, co-Zeusing's great when you have two people with the same synergy working together in operation. I have some of my best ops I've ever been in, such as the 74th Maze op, which was my first official op with them. I think that was a co-Zeus endeavor. I loved that op. A lot of people hated that op, but I absolutely loved that op. It was an experience. And a lot of people hated it because they didn't get to shoot their guns all the time. Like, nah, dude, you never get this type of stuff in Arma. Because we literally went through a maze, completed a ritual, and had all this cool shit happen, and people hated it. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you all? Like, there's a million Zeuses out there that could just, you know, here's a bunch of droids, pew pew, oh, we're done, GG, and they'd love it. But you never get those roleplay style ops, and I love those. I absolutely love those. But there's so few Zeuses that will A, do it, and B, on top of that, do it properly. '74th is they're a Star Sim. I worked with them for a few months and then gave up on it because the ops were very hit or miss. Not to say it was on the Zeus's end, it was more the ground infantry's end. I would get stuck with a guy that didn't... Here's one of my fatal flaws, personally. If I see that you are doing... Like, if I see that you're squad leading or ground commanding in a way that I really dislike, because it's not fucking me over, it's literally fucking everyone over, and I'll state it. In the 74th, the second op I did, we were doing an operation in Takistan. And we were supposed to overwatch this other squad go into a town and take people out. So we were a blocking force. And our squad leader, he put us on a ridge line, literally a click and a half away from the town, and told us, all right, we're going to be overwatching from this spot. And I asked him, I'm like, hey, why? He's like, because this is a good spot to overwatch from. I'm like, but dude, our rifles can't reach that position. He's like, well, that's okay, our marksmen can reach it. And to explain it, when you shot one of the rifles in their mod pack, the rifle bullet would disperse after 400 meters. So all of the riflemen in the rifle squad were useless because their rounds couldn't reach more than, 400 meters away. So we were, essentially useless, but the marksman could do stuff, and the marksman did stuff, great. And then, we were also right next to a road, and I was an AT guy. So there's an AAT that went up the road. So I put my launcher up to engage it, and then the squad leader started yelling at me. He's like, what are you doing? I'm like, what? Like, because I yelled clear backblast, and he told me to stop. And I'm like, why? Like, our job is Overwatch and to set up a blocking position. And there's an AAT that's about to go by us to go attack the other squad. He's like, you're not firing on. I'm like, that's our job. Like, so I got into an argument with him. I kept going through the op, and then I was notified a TSB op was happening. So I literally just said, fuck this. And I left that op to go into the TSB op. I don't even remember what it was, but that's a good thing. That usually means it was a standard good op, if I don't remember it. Because the things I remember, it was either a really good op or a really bad op. If I don't remember anything, that means it was your standard, we had fun op. And go on from there. But back to the point, my fatal flaw is if you are in a position of leadership and you start making really dumb calls, and when I go up and talk to you and I say, hey, why are we doing this? Like, I don't call them an idiot and I say, hey, you need to do this. I don't tell them how to do their job. I used to do that. I don't do it anymore because TSB helped me straighten that out. And that's why you see me in some TSB ops these days when I take, a squad grunt role and stuff. It's now more so, I'll repeat, like, if we don't have radios, like the Vietnam ops recently, I would just bark the order that the squad lead would say, and I would just, repeat it so everyone around me heard it, because I I get very loud when I play, but, you know, I don't challenge anything because, you know, it's the squad leader's time to shine, you know? If I wanted to lead, I'd take the squad leader role. But, you know, I'll then, if they make a silly call, I'll go, hey, why are you making this call specifically? You know, and I'll try to work with them so we get a better call made so we all don't get killed. Because I've seen some very silly things get brought up and said, yeah, that's a good plan. And I look at them, I'm like, no, it's not. But, you know, I don't say that. I say, hey, why? You know, I try to make them think. If I am working with someone that refuses to think about their actions and they just go, yeah, it's because that's what I said to do. And they, you know, lead players into an op where A, they don't have fun, or B, they just get massacred, which falls into, you know, they don't have fun. I take that personally. Because you are intentionally fucking over the Zeus's hard work and the mission maker's hard work. Because Zeusing and mission making, guys, it takes a while. I mean, this mission, all of these positions I have made in the previous op and making right now, takes hours of time. It took me hours to sift through and make a template of all the assets I wanted. And to show you guys just one of these mods. Just one of these mods. Let's see. Let's select... let's do IFA. If I can find it. I might not be able to find it. So, let's do Faces of War. I had to go through all of these to see which ones I wanted to use and which ones I didn't. And that's just for one of like the 10 mods we have in this mod set that are World War II themed. So that took hours. And then to make all these custom positions, it took hours. And I'll be damned if players don't enjoy an op because one squad leader ground command couldn't figure out how to do his fucking job properly. And that is what pisses me off the most. And that's also why I left the 74th. Because some ops, I had a lot of fun. Some ops, I really wanted to strangle my squad leader. Because I'm like, you are literally like following a warno or following the ground command's orders and you're not adjusting. And again, I've heard since I left that they addressed that issue. But I haven't gone back to check yet because I've been busy with my own stuff and I could care less, you know? So there's my little rant. Because I am the guy that will say, I won't blindly do what people say because I've done that enough times over the past 4 years and I have seen what happens every single time. And I can tell you that, you know, a single bad squad leader or bad ground commander can entirely ruin an operation that took a Zeus or mission maker, like, upwards of a day to make. And when I say a day, I mean, you know, 12, 24 hours, something ridiculous. Because that's happened to me plenty of damn times, and I fucking hate it. And I know there's plenty of Zeuses out there that also fucking hate it. Pardon my French. Yeah, crazy. I know. What really bugs me the most, and we'll actually in TSB like weed people out that do this. People that say, "Oh yeah, I'll squad leader. Oh yeah, I'll ground command," and then they do a really shitty job at it, and they refuse to get better or take advice. We will ban people from roles. Like also with aircraft, if they want to like fly or whatnot, but they constantly fuck up, we will ban them from that role. First temporary, then permanent, unless they royally screw up. That's what I like about TSV. We're one of the only communities that does that. No matter if you're ranked high or whatnot. If you're having a bad streak, we'll just yell at you and go, stop doing this. Now, I will say the flip side of that, though, is that we have people come into TSB and they are too scared to squad lead or something because they've heard we do stuff like that and they're too afraid to step up to the plate. So I will literally sit down with those people and go, hey, try it. Just fucking try it, you know? And then I'll, you know, join their squad, and when they want to make an order, I'll just ask them. Even if it's the right answer, I'll go, why? Why are we doing that? And if it's the wrong one, I'll say, why? Why are we doing that, you know? Like... I'm trying to build these people's confidence but also show them, you know, what's good and what's bad. And that's just one of the many jobs I have as, you know, Tier 5 and TSB. Just what I do. What does tab TSB stand for? Tough shit, baby. That name is not my choosing. It's a name that we can't change because TSB was technically a dead community before we came along. But we still work with it because free TeamSpeak. Also, Bjorn, who runs it's a nice guy. Auntie Static, who brought us over from Luton's group to TSB. Nice lady. I hope she's doing okay right now because Corona could mess her up. So I hope she's fine. All dandy. But, you know, work with what you got. Yeah, Cross, I'm not gonna lie to you. You have to really wrangle the tier 3s, and that is that honestly does separate the ground commanders that are ready to really be ground commanders in TSB and the ones that are still learning. If you are able to not only wrangle the tier 3s, but deal with the fucking Mimi bullshit they'll say, you know, in retort to your orders, which took me a while to get through, to be perfectly honest. If you can handle them, you can handle anyone. And I've had plenty of memes made of me because I will start barking orders at people. But it gets the op done. And at the end of the day, that's what matters to me. Just for the sole fact of I don't want the Zeus to feel like they wasted their time. That's just sympathy from one Zeus to another. So, okay, I was actually working on something that I did need to look up if I had toilet paper for. There is no Arma 3 toilet paper. And there will be a special op on Saturday to show you guys why I looked into that. I was thinking if I finished building this stuff, I would show you guys what it was. But here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking for now, if I did this zone, because we still have like 3 outposts left, and then there's checkpoints. There's another big fob over. Well, it's not really a fob, just another outpost size. But I think this is good because I'm starting to get a little burnt out. Ooh, excuse me. From this, and I want to work on something else, and then maybe I'll return to it. It is 11:51 as well, so I will start feeling fatigued too, but I'm going to switch mod sets and work on the Saturday thing because I think that would be a good transition. So I'm going to quickly switch the mod set here. But crazy to give you an example here. Never, ever tell the squad leader he's an idiot or something to his face, and then try to wrangle command of the squad from the squad leader. The best you can do is ask the squad leader why he's doing something, give a recommendation, and give your reason in the recommendation, but never be aggressive and take control of the squad. Because if you take control of the squad, there's obviously going to be an argument between you and the SL, and then your players and the squad aren't going to know who to follow, and that's just going to make things worse. That is something I used to do a lot, and that made me a good chunk of enemies, I can assure you. That's why I don't do it anymore, but it took me years to get out of that habit, because it is frustrating to, you know, see people get fucked over by an SL that, to be perfectly honest, doesn't know what the hell he's doing. But, I mean, this is why in TSB we let anyone take any role, because if you really wanted to squad lead, you should have picked the damn role, because squad leaders and ground commanders are the often last picks for the server. Or just do it the 506 way and have the CLS guy refuse to do aid when the SL is unconscious. Yeah, but that can get you into a lot of trouble in the 506. And I don't mean to throw any shade, but it's... How do I put this gently? The 506 has a very simplistic medical system. I think they were actually talking about making it harder with the new tests for the ACE update, and they might actually have it out by now to work with new ACE, but for the longest time with the medical settings, the only reason you KIA'd in the 506 is if you got screwed by like a GMG, you went into a minefield when you shouldn't have, or you didn't know how to get out of the minefield, or people just didn't get to you in time because the CPR bleed-out timer is only 120 seconds. So if you go unconscious, you're kind of screwed unless they get to you quickly. Because it's 2 minutes can go by like that. I mean, one of my favorite 506 stops was an op where most of the players actually died at least once because we had to constantly go through minefields and go up against GMGs at close range, and a lot of people died because people didn't know what to do in those situations, not even the SLs. So when most of my group went down and I started dealing with multiple mass cases everywhere, I started getting yelled at by people above me, asking me what the hell I was doing, running to this group and then this group in close proximity. I literally look at them and I just yell my fucking job and then, just keep doing medical stuff. I would focus on getting my SL back up, telling medics, hey, you need to get this guy up because he's a medic, and you always get the medics up first. And it was that opportunity that I kind of got to show off a little bit, but also really play because we were getting pushed by multiple squads. So if you know how to, epinephrine yourself to increase your heart rate so you can guarantee you'll wake up a few more times, and you really know your meta knowledge in the game, it was just a lot of fun. And then they also paired me with a new guy, so I was barking at the new guy saying, all right, you need to do this because this, and this, and this, and that. And I got in trouble because I taught him too much stuff that was quote-unquote meta, and I almost got written up for that, but it was literally us two just holding back like an entire squad at times just so we could get mass cases back up, and it was a lot of damn fun. I need to go back and rewatch that op, because it was... like, I started just yelling, alright, I'm going to lead us through this damn minefield, because you just watch your feet, or if you had the mine detector, you just pulled up the interface through the bracket menu. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to stop doing my mouse stuff. I was just reminiscing over all of that. Because it was such a fun op. And a lot of people died in it. So it wasn't a fun op overall because a lot of people died, but I wasn't the only person doing this either. You had other people that had the background experience from ARMA in multiple different communities and, had been in those situations, because those are the situations for in TSB. You actually get in those a lot, and people step up and take charge and start, getting things sorted. And that's why I love TSB so much, is because we have so many of those ops go that way, but it makes them such good fucking players. And that's why I value my tier 3s, because I can throw them under the damn bus, and they will still kick everything's ass. And when we get a new rotation of tier 3s, there's always that retraining period, that teething, but they learn, whether they like it or not, and if they don't, they just get weeded out of 3. And it's so fun. I'm sorry, I went off on a tangent. I apologize. But, again, some of... I always say some of the best ops. Well, honestly, I've had a really good op in the 74th. I've had multiple really good ops in the 501st. I've had some really good ops in the 212th. 74th. Nothing comes to mind. Shit. Actually, no. There was this one op that their leader did that was really cool. where he built like this custom like warthog bridge in the middle of it, and it was a really cool trip. And it's a shame the server crashed before it. But yeah, no, that one was really cool because I led a fire team and pretended to be an edgy Oni boy as a freaking normal UNSC rifleman. I got in trouble because I wasn't allowed to do that, but we saved everyone's ass twice because we just maneuver. I like literally led them into flanking position. So I did have one good op in like really good op in the 89th TSB. I have a really good op at least once a month because the Zeus's in there are great, and the ops I give them, you know, it'll kick their asses, but they'll learn, which is always nice. FK, I've had multiple really good ops in there, actually. One I ground commanded. The one I ground commanded was really fun. And then the ops where I got to play with Andy. I love Andy. He's a great guy. Those are also really fun. I'm trying to think, what other communities have I been in? I'm only counting the ones where I've actually, you know, been in for at least a month. But that goes to show you that no matter where you go in Arma, what community you pick, you will have good ops. But you will also have bad ops. And that's just something you got to settle for. I'm going to distract everyone with a quick ad real quick. As I change my commands here. Why did you just do that? Sorry, my command browser interface, excuse me, decided to freak the heck out. But yeah, also, going back to when I said I don't like co-Zeus's because I go on random weird tangents, me talking like this is a really good example of my Zeus, and I'm very sporadic. I have big mood swings. Sorry, I had to collect my thoughts to write this. COVID-19 PvP up. And I am all over the place. And it doesn't help that's late at night. I have a little rule with myself of when it's midnight and past, my thoughts get very jumbled and I get very crazy. So, I mean, FK ops, I'll admit, kind of remind me of the 74th. It's very hit or miss. I've been in some ops where, again, had lots of fun. I've been some ops where I got in trouble and temp banned because I just quit the op because I wasn't having fun. But in FK, you're not allowed to quit the ops, and that's also why I don't think I've been back yet, is because, you know, I don't want to risk having to be temp banned in a community, because that looks bad for myself, in an op where I'm not having fun. And then I've also been in ops that have, you know, they crash the server, and I just kind of laugh. But what bugs me, though, is if the server crashes and you get... Yeah, no, I haven't been back since that op. My final straw there was if the server crashes and the Zeus... like, you are still liable to stay in that op or else you get temp banned until the Zeus declares that he can't remake the op in time or whatnot. Or he can't fix the issue. So you are stuck there twiddling your thumbs and, you know, just sitting there for something that might not even happen at that point. But if you leave early, you still might get administrative punishment. That I kind of face test over and haven't been back since. I remember when I quit my first op and Andy's like, hey, why'd you leave this op? And I'm like, oh, because I wasn't having fun. He's like, oh, well, I'm sorry, mate, but we have a rule. And I'm like, what? Okay, fine, like, sure, you know, rules are rules, I get it, but that's a stupid rule. Liru past midnight, great crazy ops. I mean, this op is going to be crazy once I collect my thoughts on it. But, man. You're a Zeus mission maker for a small Israel, Ika Fek. Potato. Autocorrect, my man. It hurts. I get it, but it hurts. So, as I collect my thoughts here, this op is going to be a PvP COVID-19 quarantine op. You heard me right. There's going to be two factions. A police faction that will enforce the quarantine, and a civilian faction that is trying to escape the quarantine. So there's going to be a few different rules that are written up, but basically I'm debating if I'm going to have this permanently night or a massive day-night cycle. And it will be after a certain time, or for the entirety of the op, if you are caught outside of a building or in an area you're not supposed to be, the police are allowed to shoot on sight to detain you, because if you die, you'll just respawn. I'll have to disable respawns. But you'll be taken to jail. And, if anyone's violating the rules I set, I'll just, free them and do some administrative punishment or whatnot in op. And when I say administrative punishment, I don't mean anything serious. Just, whoever was in the wrong will get, a small punishment. Whoever's in the right will, get a bonus or something. But there's a few features I'm trying to make that involve a black market. It'll involve, supermarket stuff. So the players will have to do their best to raid, shop, stores, supermarkets. I've got a gun museum as a joke. That's going to be really fun to make. I got a car depot. But the police will have, a station where they can get their kits organized and whatnot. They have a jail over here. And then they'll spawn outside, and I'll also give them a chopper. And I've been having to foolproof this perimeter fence to make sure that people can't get out, even with enhanced movement. And basically, I'm trying to make it so that, this is just a silly little PvP op that'll probably take an hour. With the player base's goal of either capturing all of the police, or the police's goal of detaining all of the players. So it's going to be a game of cat and mouse, and we might be able to do multiple rounds. So, again, something silly, something stupid, but, we'll make it work. I'm going to delete this part of the title before I get yelled at for misleading, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, let's build some kits. Now, here's where the hard part's going to be, because I need to make... I might use Afghan National Police for this one, and base it off of, Afghani police forces, because they have such nice uniforms for it. But I might also use the Russians, because they have, actual police skins for their stuff. But so do the, the police forces here. So, I'm just going to look and see what's better. The Hilluxes or the actual skins of these. And honestly, these skins are a lot better, in my opinion, because these look more policey. So we'll work with that. But anyway, I'm going to go back to building mode, guys. So I'll be reading, your comments. I might go off on new tangents as well. But, feel free to bring stuff up and ask and whatnot, and I'll answer whatever comes to mind. Excuse me. I might go down for another drink, too, because when I talk a lot, my throat gets fucked up. Alright, so, put some police cars down. It's a shame I can't have any, armed gases or whatnot for patrol cars. They have to be, open-faced. But I could also... I want to have something more maneuverable than an MI8, though. Ooh, but the 3CB National Police. Yeah, okay, so I don't have to do Cherno guys. Yes, okay, so there's our compromise. Because, again, Cherno Russian guys in this environment wouldn't make much sense. But if I had, this is even better. 3CB for the save. And here we go. We have Land Rovers with HMGs. They're open top, but it still works. But I'm only giving them one, so they have to use it wisely. And then I can make police kits. I think I'm only going to make, a single kit and just call them officers. But they'll spawn with sidearms, but I'll put some stuff in here to give them, rifles and stuff. Are you a funny 40k commissar? I mean, if your commissar was Slaneshi, and you didn't mind a voice changer, but I don't stream the voice changer over to OBS because I don't want that on the recording,
Let's give him a warm welcome,
then yes, if that's what you consider funny. Otherwise, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it one bit. Oh yeah, right, you don't want to use 3 CB units because they have the script. So what we're going to do is I am going to take some gendarmerie units as base kits. And we're going to go play around in the editor. If they steal again, the players are going to be allowed to do whatever they want. They're just going to have their rules. I'm going to go over the guidelines, and whatever happens, happens. I will be more than happy to see how it all plays out. So let me get rid of everything this guy's wearing. Now, I got to think about radios and equipment. So I think, a standard 152 would be good, but I'm not going to give the players any form of communication devices. It's all going to have to be done locally. But I'll let them all spawn at the same location to coordinate if they so choose. I might make an equipment store, depending on the circumstance, but I'll give them binos. Now, I will give them monocle NVGs to help them see stuff. So this means they will need to have some sort of head harness or helmet or something. But now we need to find something that looks policey. Honestly, if I just type police, what do we get? We get some GM assets, actually. That wouldn't be too bad. However, I know some people run the global mobilization patch, so I want to avoid that if I can. So honestly, that's my best bet, but I just type PO. Yeah. I get some extra stuff here, but it's not all police. We could have it be CIA instead. Actually, since it's COVID-19, it would be a COVID-19 quarantine. The police wouldn't be in uniform. They'd be, we could have them wear CBRN stuff. That would add a nice little spooky element to it. Yeah, so blue CBRN. Oh my god, that would actually be great. And then I can have face masks at spawn because it's a face wear. But yeah, no, imagine being chased around by CBRN dudes. Oh, that would be funny as hell. So what blue armors do I have here? I don't want to give them the YUE stuff. That would be way too OP, but I mean... Oh, Tactical Vest Police. And there's no specific A&A markings on it. That's perfect. I love it. I love this game when it comes together like that. Love it. See, that has a marking on it, though, but this one doesn't. That's great. When the police in HK has better protection gear than the medical personnel. Yeah, that's a sad truth. Now, do I have any helmets that are masks? Because again, I don't have it set on my server so that their thing isn't that way, but it doesn't look like I have it set that way. So I'm going to look up a basic blue helmet. And then let me look at face wear here because I want to see what comes up. Because here's the deal. I know that... So we do have some modded Ooh. gas mask M40. Oh, we're totally doing that one. Please tell me I can spawn in, because I know the vanilla masks you can't spawn in. That's one of our modded add-ons from Makarov 2, so sweet. Because it had the little puzzle piece symbol. So what was it called? Gas mask M40? EFGH. Let me check the name again. Yep, gas mask M40. Please be a spawnable asset. Because I don't want to have to do what I did last Friday and respawn a shit ton of units just for that thing. Because don't get me wrong, I will, but it's a pain in the butt. EFG, so it should be in here, but it's not. And this is where they put face wearers, because if we were to go to B, you would see balaclavas, so it's not a spawnable asset. Why you do this to me, game? I just want to have cool-looking gas masks. I could just ask all the police guys before the op to set it, and then, you know, find a way to spawn them in anyway, but I'm using that. I am totally using that. I know, but it counts. There's no place specifically for masks. Like, it's only headwear. Because, like I said, balaclavas, they don't... There's no specific section for faces. You know what I mean? It's all in here. At least it should be. No, don't worry, man. Part of my job is to show people how things work in this game, especially to Zeus's that, you know, do want to try. So, it's important that you show them that, hey, this game is not your friend. This game will take all the units you spawn and decide, hey, this squad is not going to follow the ace settings that you set. And then if you try to fix it, boom, they're invincible. That's literally happened an hour ago when we started streaming, and people that have been here since then will tell you, yes, that happened when we started the damn stream, and I lost my shit. So, you watch that? Yep, exactly. So I'm here to show you that crazy shit will happen. I'm a sucker for the M9 Beretta, so we're gonna do M9 Berettas. Because I like the gun. Now, we're going to build a base kit. So we're going to do 10 bandages, 2 epinephrines, 2 morphine, earplugs, naturally. Cable ties, we're going to need a lot of these. Yeah, at least 10 to start with. And I'll have boxes of cable. Well, I'm going to do even more. We're going to do 15. Yep. And then 3 things of FMJ, because I believe it comes with an FMJ. No, it comes with the JHP. We're going to do FMJ. I love Full Metal Jacket. Also, it helps with the penetration of the round. And I'm going to need stun grenades. These ones will really screw them up. And then the rest of that inventory room is if they pick up a rifle or something. But there you go. There's your military police guy. So, attributes. I am going to set them all to medics. Because all the units in this thing are going to be set as medics. And I'm not going to do any engineers, because I'm not going to have any vehicle repair, so if something gets screwed up, it gets screwed up. So, add-ons... Load... Tier 2... Because that's my standard everything loadout for realism ops. And now I'm going to go to medical. And I am going to set this down to 1.50 and this to 1.50 as well. Actually, no, I'm going to set to 1 because I'm debating having AI in it or not that are going to be defending certain points. We'll see how things go. Sounds like one of your hard drives is coming to its end of its life. No, that's just one of my fans on my computer. I didn't realize she's not louder, she's just being silly. Yeah, the clicky, that's what, when my computer runs all day, it's a loose screw in the radiator or something. She just likes to go active. If I push her at a certain angle, though, she stops. There we go. I just put it under my foot, and then I feel my foot slowly get crushed to fix it. How do I get over Zeus's blocks? Like when you just run out of op ideas? Potato, I just cycle through my mod sets. So for example, we were working on IFA. I got bored of that, so I immediately stopped and started working on this. I have another Halo mission I'm working on right now that I finished for Wednesday. I'm not going to spoil it because I have some really interesting shit for it, but I literally made that start to finish. And then went back to IFA, and then I got bored of IFA, so I, whatchamacallit, I then went, and I made this, and I made the perimeter wall, and then I marked out a bunch of locations for things I want to build. I just cycle myself through different ops I have due in the week, and then, you know, I just keep working. And if I get burnt out completely from Arma, which I did today, I'll go do something else. I hit up Bloodwing and we played Borderlands 3 for a few hours. She stole my legendaries and I got really mad. I showed her the One Punch Man Easter egg. And then she hates shotguns, so I proceeded to take that unique weapon and one punch everything in the face multiple times. And it was great. Love that gun. So I apologize for the rattling, just the computer being funky. Nah, Bloodwing, for Borderlands 3 at least, she prefers snipers, which I found funny because the One Punch Chump is literally a shotgun that can be used like a sniper because it's a slug thrower, but she still didn't like it. So I'm like, alright, whatever, boo. Why argue? I got the frickin' One Punch Chump and I had a blast with it because I love that gun. Your brother's playing on a Milsim server. Milsim's not bad, but if it's not your cup of tea, don't try to force it. I've seen plenty of people try to force it. It never goes well for that person. I always QRST. I always lose track of the tourniquets. The texture of the tourniquets always escapes me. I went past it again. So I focus on the the CAT on that instead. We're gonna go down to 20 because I'm having 4 boxes. Have I played the Handsome Heist yet? No. I'm not gonna lie. I love everything about Borderlands 3 except the story, and I do not. I wish it was Borderlands 2 with Borderlands 3 mechanics. I fucking hate Borderlands 3's story. It had some cool elements, but most of it was trash. Most of it was pretty much trash. The ending was not earned. I fucking hated the ending. And they could have done something so cool with the final boss. And I was expecting it too. I'm like, oh, they're gonna make this happen. And then nope, that was it. And I'm like, oh. Screw me then. So I'm not gonna give them any money for DLC. I can't be bothered. Yeah, that's fair, Jet. But again, if Bloodwing wants to play, by all means, I'll go play it with her. But there's no one else I would play that for. Can't be bothered. So I'm trying to find like a civilian-looking helicopter that's not an Mi-8 or a Huey. Worst comes to worst, I'll do a Little Bird, but I'm hoping we didn't get rid of all of the cool-looking helicopters in this mod set, but we might have. If not, I could just add a mod that adds a police helicopter. I'm sure there's plenty out there. Because we have T1 add-ons. But less work for me, the better. Yeah, I loved the pre-sequel story more than the fucking Borderlands 3 story, and that's saying something. Because they did some really cool shit with that story that I personally liked, but, you know, they also had really cool elements of it, but it was clearly rushed towards the end. But still. You just gotta understand, I don't think you'll get anywhere. You won't get a better story than Borderlands 2, in my opinion. Yes. Oh, yeah. That's another thing. They didn't do anything with Elpis, and they took what they set up in pre-sequel and just completely threw it to the side. And when I played, it's actually kind of funny. Before they released Borderlands 3, I was in Greece with Bloodwing, and they actually had a gaming convention in. I think we were in Athens. No. We were in a different town. But they had a gaming convention there, and they had a Borderlands 3 panel. By the way, gaming conventions in Greece are fucking dope. You get free food, you get free drinks, you get free gum. There's a lot of free stuff. And I don't think I could ever go to an American gaming convention ever, because compared to that, it was, like, pathetic. But they had a Borderlands 3 panel, so I have pictures of me holding these really high quality Borderlands 3 cosplay guns, and then they had a place where you could play the DLC for Borderlands 2 before it was released to everybody, which was the prequel. It was allegedly the prequel setup for Borderlands 3 to give you the story, and then they also had a Borderlands 3 demo. and I got to play both, and it was great. But I hated that, and I asked the person too there. I'm like, what about the pre-sequel? And they said no, they completely scrapped it. And I'm like, no, I loved what they set up in there, but I just threw it out the window. But yeah, Bloodwing got mad at me because she got a legendary during the 3 demo, and I totally yoinked it from her, and the people behind us were laughing, and she like literally punched me. She punched me, took my controller, went to my inventory, held X on it, and then had her character pick it up. And I'm like, you bitch. I want my gun back. I stole it fair and square. Oh man. It was a good time. I'm gonna have to look for a police helicopter. There's probably plenty of models out there, but I'll import one. And then let me find the US resupply truck I like to use. Gladiator from the pre-sequel, Athena, right? No. I thought it was Athena. Yeah, they were about to frickin' murk her. Good times. I mean, yeah, we do have a Huey, but I don't want to use a Huey. I want to use like an actual police helicopter, and I have the means to do it. So we were actually talking about burnout earlier, but I'm actually starting to feel it set on, and that's in the combination with fatigue because it is past midnight, and when it's past midnight, my brain starts to turn off. Okay, just going through some of my random internet tabs, but all right, I think it's about time we wrap it up. I got Monday up to a level that I am okay with. I just have to do some final setup before the mission at 5, but I've got plenty of time to do that. And this mission isn't due till Saturday, but I'll probably have it done by tomorrow anyway. So, whew. Is there a Super Stallion in Vanilla, IDAP, Civil? No, the best you're going to get is the Mohawk. There is no Super Stallion, unfortunately, because it's the Mohawk retextured as the IDAP thing. But, ooh, I'm going to take a page in Sad Boy Potato's book and call it as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. Go operate operationally. If you ever have any questions, comments, and concerns, feel free to DM me on Discord. I've noticed a few of you have been doing that recently, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you guys on that medium, especially since the world's ending. Not really, but you get what I mean. Self-quarantine. Cheers, guys. Have a good one. Go to bed. Go operate operationally. And remember to wash your goddamn hands.